Everyone, welcome back here to the qualification match between Cloud9 and TNC. We are going to Battlefield of Eternity, Clarang. Are you muted, baby?
My bad. C9 always has a trick up their sleeve on this map. I'm a total pleb when it comes to casting, but like,
It's all good.
I love watching C9 on this map. Their manipulation of the RNG on the Immortal spawns is almost always really, really good. But to be fair, like I've mentioned before, TNC loves to play with Sylvanas. This is arguably Sylvanas' best map. Just like Haunted Mines, Sylvanas used to be like an insta GG. It's a similar thing here. Sylvanas enables your Immortal to push just a crazy amount. So I think the things to watch out for in this draft, C9, regardless of map, will prioritize Illidan very highly. TNC and C9 will both prioritize Sylvanas highly. I don't think C9 is willing to give up the high prioritization on one of the top two tanks, ETC or Murden, but we'll see. They have gone tankless before on this map.
Yeah, we've seen Calf play Thrall just
Exactly,
for
yeah.
the ability to race. Also, this is a good map for Sonya when it comes to racing.
Definitely. Greymane, obviously high prioritization. I don't know if TNC plays Greymane. Most teams have at least someone who can play Greymane a little bit, but those are the main things I'm going to watch out for this game. Sylvanas, definitely high priority. Post level 7, too, she has really good Immortal damage with Barb Shot. It's insane.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Going for that PvE power. Well, I mean, C9, if you guys missed game one, they, it was close for the most part until late game, and TNC just controlled the game. They just played better, essentially. And we had this full Worgen form build out of iDream on Greymane. It just didn't look like it was getting the impact they were looking for. Even with Li Ming and Greymane getting huge damage output, it was handled perfectly, like easily, honestly.
The thing is, like, Tassadar in that composition is just useless. The way that K1 built in that scenario. Well, I think, first of all, the way they designed their comp, you can get away with Illidan Tass Rhaegar because Illidan has the kit that if he's able to survive a long time in a fight, he will win the fight. Greymane doesn't necessarily have that same style. He has a lot of damage, and if you protect him, he can get tons of damage out in the team fight, but it's not the same impact as Illidan Rhaegar Tass versus Greymane Rhaegar Tass. They just had to play it slower, I think, and a different Tassadar build and play it slower. It would have been much better.
Alrighty, guys. Well, we are now here with the first pick, first band on the side of Cloud9 here for Battlefield of Eternity. Kael'thas.
And yeah, the first ban on KT. So we'll see if TNC ends up banning Illidan. If they do ban Illidan, C9 will almost guaranteed. Okay, the Toronto ban. I think it's still Sylvanas over Illidan for C9. I could be wrong. C9 will pick one of these three heroes. Illidan, Sylvanas, or Muradin. Those are their three options. And it looks like they're opting for the Muradin again. I haven't seen Caffeine off of Muradin this entire tournament, I think. Maybe one game he played ETC, but I can't remember. Like, just a heavy prioritization on Muradin.
He's very good at going in and slapping down the reverberation to try to slow down the enemy team's damage on the Immortal. We've seen him do that before. Johanna can be used for a similar effect with the Blind, but he's pretty darn good with that. Team name change. All right.
There's the Sylvanas.
Not only do Sylva's great, but the other reason why I like Li Ming here is 90% of the time when we see Cloud9 on Battlefield of Eternity, they put Arthalon on Li Ming so he can go full PvE status and just poke the Immortals. He loves to do it. He's good at it, and they're taking that away from him. And they're all being hovered very early.
C9's already in an uncomfortable position. I feel like whenever I see C9 run Thrall, you can tell by the way they play, there's discomfort, like, in their team atmosphere. Unless they're doing tankless with Calf on Thrall, then it seems more cohesive. But, like, I feel like if they secure this Thrall, they're not playing their game. They're playing the strengths of the meta, which can work. But I don't know, man. We'll have to see. I do think Thrall's a really, really good pick here. Maybe just not for C9. We'll have to see how it pans out in the end, though. Aside from Thrall, other picks that, like, Illidan Tass is still up if they really want to try and force that style of composition. I think that would be really bad into Sylvanas Li Ming, but it looks like they're going for it.
Illidan Tass, okay.
So if C9 falls behind at all, loses one Immortal, they lose the game. This is such a risky composition by them. They have to be winning early. Illidan is really bad at anti-siege, and Tassadar really doesn't bring that much damage to the anti-siege as well. This gives TNC the opportunity to deny one more ranged carry as well. I expect a Falstad ban coming out from them, but at the same time, it could be any other ranged carry. Oh, they're actually looking to deny supports. That makes sense too, denying the Illidan Task Rhaegar, securing Uther. But that allows C9 to get the ranged damage dealer of their choice. Probably fine.
So, yeah, basically, ETC ban is a possibility here for C9 if they just want to deny the warrior. That's going to be the case. Team name change will pick up Uther guaranteed, which kind of puts C9 in a situation where they're going to want to go Brightwing to pair with that Tassadar and, you know, have the phase shift, the polymorph, the whole deal to help get that Illidan his opportunity to do damage. But what's the other damage C9's going to go for? Well, I guess we're on the side of TNC right now, so let's talk about TNC.
If they can't get Falstad, just to finish the C9 thought, if they can't get Falstad, they'll almost certainly pick Vala. But for TNC, right now, they want to secure
Sonya Uther? I mean, that's so much damage.
They're going to wait on their tank pick, and they're going to secure a good front line. Like, right now, TNC is winning this draft. And just to elaborate, in case people in chat don't understand why Illidan Tassadar is bad on this map, my thought process behind it, after having extensively played it and tested it, your immortal damage is inherently a little bit lower DPS-wise when you have Tassadar on your team. And Illidan Tass on this map is really good when you have a lot of room to chase. And this is a situation where having good siege potential and being able to anti-siege well is really important. Illidan's pretty good at sieging, but not particularly good at defending a siege unless you all in. But even still, his defensive immortal damage, if TNC wins an immortal, it's going to be really hard for C9 to win this game. Because they have the Sylvanas, they have the Uther Sonya, most likely Johanna, but C9 does end up picking Vala for their one ranged carry. Vala is consistent, good into triple melee, and this is the Brightwing as well. C9's just going for a solid all-around, we can beat you in a team fight comp, whereas TNC also has a comp that's really good in team fights, but it plays around the map objective so much more.
So much better. Oh my goodness, if they have Thrall here, a no-true warrior, their ability to race immortals is going to... This is a very C9-esque composition that we're seeing on the side of TNC. And Thrall gives them crazy engage. They just conceded on the potential for having Mighty Gust with Falstad in favor of the Vala, who's going to have better sustained damage just on the immortals. I think TNC won the draft straight up.
I agree. The thing that C9 could have done to remedy this situation in hindsight, they should have picked Lunara over Vala, guaranteed. Lunara with Nature's Toxin or whatever, that would compensate for the fact that they're so low on siege that they would be able to defend an immortal reasonably well if TNC got one, but also it would increase their own immortal damage by so much. Vala is just like a well-balanced, decent ranged carry, but Lunara would have been a pretty good pick, pretty good into all of TNC's heroes except for Thrall, but I would have loved to see Lunara over Vala here.
Yeah. Well, guys,
but in general, I think the Illidan comp on this map's really weak.
We're gonna have to see if that's gonna pan out. Now, just to give everyone a refresher as to like what the stakes are, what's going on right here. This is a qualification match that currently has a 1-0 favor on the side of TNC, and honestly, I'm getting some comments just right in BattleNet saying, Glau, they're liking us. You and Glau are a great pair. I'm just gonna reword your comment there, Libo. Thank you. But yeah, so this is it. This is the final chance in this specific event for the teams to advance forward. But there is one more qualifier next week. The top 8 teams that have not qualified, there will be 6 after today. The top 8 teams remaining in these open qualifiers will go to an 8-team double elimination qualifier next weekend on Sunday, where 2 teams will be the 7th and 8th teams to represent North America in the regional events. So I hope that was intuitive the way I worded it.
Dude, if C9 makes it to the last qualifier again, that would blow my mind. Just like with DreamHack Austin, it took them until
My Insanity had the same situation in Europe, actually. Back-to-back 2 seasons in a row, My Insanity did not qualify until the 4th qualifier. But guess what? They're going
won
to Worlds.
regionals.
They're
Yeah.
going to Worlds. So,
For the second time in a row.
as much as people want... Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it could happen in both regions. On the blue side, ladies and gentlemen, that is TNC, currently up 1-0. We've got Matra playing as Uther. Prismaticism going to be on Li Ming. Buds on Sylvanas. Hao Nguyen playing Thrall. And then Justine going to be on Sonya.
And on the red side, we've got C9, who needs no introduction. They're playing one of their signature comps. We got King Caffeine on Muradin. We got Dunk Train on Tassadar, iDream on Illidan, K1 Pro on Vala, and Arthalon on Brightwing. They've been doing this Arthalon on Brightwing, Dunk Train on Tassadar for a long while. And, I mean, it's paid off for them in the past, but I feel like their immortal damage is a little bit on the lower side here.
Yep.
And
okay, a few things we need to point out. Sustained styles across the board. No true warrior. So we have block there for Sonya. Not too common. Force armor on Li Ming. Really just trying to put additional priority on the sustain for those heroes since they don't have that true warrior.
yeah, I mean, this game, a lot of what it could come down to is how heavy CAF can pressure the enemy team's pseudo front line. They don't have the greatest front line to combat CAF. So if CAF is able to just bully them, I could see C9 winning this. But
definitely a stronger early game, though, especially
Yeah,
when it comes to fighting over the Immortals on the side of TNC. I mean, if there's ever a situation where they're looking to trade, we'll see. Lifo, get you after the game, bro. Thanks for the donation, I guess. I just got a message in game, Glowering, just so you're not feeling
no worries.
out of the loop.
It's okay. First minute and a half on BOE really doesn't matter until this wave right here. Whoever clears this wave in the 4-man generally gets to the Immortal first and wins the halfway phase. So that's when you see people starting to step up. And then on top lane, you see Justin G brawling with iDream because iDream's trying really hard to clear. And yeah, it looks like TNC is the first team to clear. We'll see if they can get on Immortal faster because they definitely have the better burn.
Yeah. All right. Dream actually very low from his battle in the top lane with Sonya, and they're immediately on that point. Cloud9 is going for the trade. Looks like they're going to send King Caffeine, K1 Pro, Dunk Train up to try to stall this out to the best of their ability while just leaving 2 members down. They managed to force them off the point all the while. Illidan is working on this, but it is a slow grind for him. TNC very much in favor of the Immortal Health Bar race.
And like I was saying before, due to the Sylvanas, if they get this Immortal, wow, Dunk is really low off that. If they get this Immortal, that's a huge deal for TNC.
And right now, they are poised to do so. Now, the spawns...
Oh, K1 got so chunked there.
This is looking really, really bad.
Oh, Matre? Oh. Matre had really poor positioning there. That might be the saving grace C9 needed.
Okay,
Uther
buys them
Ghost
some space.
will keep them alive.
They need to send someone back to start doing some damage to the opposing side, though. Ghost has expired. 6 seconds till Uther is back up. Dunk Train incredibly low in the back, but Cloud9, they're just kind of slowly losing rather than sending a single member back to try to race this.
Okay, the Immortal ends up going down. It's half HP. They have Sylvanas, and take a note of Sylvanas' level 1 talent, Paralysis. Increases Black Arrow's duration by 75%. The amount of siege that they will actually be able to do with this is insane. You just stick Sonya top lane, that beats the enemy team's Illidan in top lane, and you have a Immortal pushing bot lane, or... yeah, an Immortal pushing bot lane with Sylvanas. Like, this is almost guaranteed a fort unless TNC misplays.
Okay, Q build for Li Ming, also Lost Soul. That's going to be a bit more of a sustained style there for the Sylph as well. So I'm loving the adaptations we're seeing in this game so far.
Yeah, right now, they might not be able to get the fort. C9's doing a pretty good job of pressuring up.
Tash
K1's getting chumped.
Tash shields are good. Oh,
Bud's just
Dunk Train!
Oh my god!
What just happened? Dunk Train, not really respecting the damage, gets completely blown up. No dimensional shift in sight, and that is a very dead fort. This Immortal is going to keep pushing onto the keep walls.
Wow.
The phase shift not there in time for Vala. This game is snowballing out of control in favor of TNC.
There has to be some issues going on in team atmosphere. Like, 2 games in a row, Tassadar has missed an E and gotten picked off at critical moments. Last game, it was right when the 2 temples spawned. At this game, it allowed TNC to get not only a fort, but a keep wall with their Immortal. That is unheard of. And like I was saying in the draft, unless they get ahead early, I don't see C9 winning this game. How to win will die.
Yeah, it's a small victory.
one person dead for that much structure damage is totally worth it. And Dunk might die again.
Oh my goodness, what a game. A full level, almost a level and a half lead for TNC. We're already up 1-0 in this series. An explosive start with this no true warrior composition, just that lone Sonya, going a bit more of a sustained style.
Look at what Sonya was able to pull off just solo top. She beats Illidan in lane, forced Illidan to rotate bottom, and tried desperately to defend the Immortal, but he can't, and suddenly Sonya got most of the top wall. There's only a fraction of health on the top turret. TNC is playing this by the book, and they're playing it well.
Well, friends, Cloud9, they're going to have to make some adjustments to bring this one back. Just taking a look at the level 7 talents as they are locked in momentarily. Full-on phase shift build. We are seeing searing attacks. It's going to give Vala a little bit more damage on that single target. Muradin even went battle momentum just to make sure he has that pure presence in the front, and then reflexive block for the Illidan.
This tankless composition at this point in the game has been doing work, and I think it scales really well post 10 too. Like, Sundering is just going to be insane. We'll have to see what value C9 gets out of their hard camp. I think both teams actually capped their hard camp way too soon, but in the end, it'll sort of balance out. TNC has an XP advantage, pretty substantial one. Punisher spawning in 10 seconds. I think TNC just gets the soak, waits till level 10, gets the second Immortal guaranteed, and that'll be a key. Like, if they have level 10, there's no way C9 is going to be level 10 in time to combat this. So TNC just sit back, poke, soak lanes, and then push top really hard with Sylvanas in level 10. That's what they got to do. Don't take a fight right now.
Good hunting wave.
Just walk away.
Yeah, good hunting wave there from King Caffeine, just pulling them off the point as fast as humanly possible. Now, C9 has no real way to safely poke. Arthlon even taking a lot of pressure there from Laming, but the Shields of Task are sufficient. Prismaticism is the target, but Teleport is getting him back. Now we see Dream is just diving forward. So the damage on Dream is quite heavy right now, forcing them back. They did what? Maybe a single Psystorm on this? They have done no damage to that Immortal.
You can see the desperation in C9's play here. Them just chasing TNC, trying to force so hard. But this isn't the map for the Illidan comp. I was saying it in draft, and this showcases its weaknesses perfectly. C9 just got dumpstered in draft here, and I don't see a way that they can win unless TNC throws hard.
Okay, well, they're finding how here in the bottom. They're going to be able to get the kill on
That's a
Thrall.
good start.
They need that damage. They need to buy them space for level 10. But level 10 has been locked in. We see Disintegrate, Sundering, Divine Shield, Wailing Arrow. And, I mean, I would imagine it's Wrath of the Berserker there for Sonya.
Overall, even though Houndwind got picked off there, that gave C9 an XP buffer to potentially hit 10 before the Immortal. But once Li Ming gets close and once Thrall gets close, they just need to force this Immortal, force the issue. And if TNC gets the next Immortal, that's going to be really huge. They just got to not get picked off, play it by the book, and they'll be completely fine. They have D-Shield as a saving grace as well. Prismat is being way too aggro.
He just teleported aggressively. Stormbolt whiffs entirely, though, so Prismat should be able to get out. If that Stormbolt had connected, maybe Cloud9 could have got the kill, but they still do not have level 10 versus that level 10 on the side of TNC.
But that's what I'm saying. You got to respect Prismat's aggression as a player. It's crazy, but it works sometimes.
Okay, Dimensional Shift pop very early. The Immortal down to half health will be resetting and moving. Cloud9 needs to make their way to the top to defend their Immortal, but they need 10 first. Brightwing can soak that lane safely. We need to see Vala and Tassler get up here, but it's too late. It doesn't matter.
Okay, there's an Avatar popped. That's one ultimate down on the defense.
That's a full power Immortal that Cloud9 now has to respond to. They're looking for a fight right here. Meta goes into Sundering Disengage is good. Immortal spawning in the middle of the map, but they're going to get the single kill. No, not even. Divine Shield is used, and can they keep Monster alive? Not quite.
I'm completely okay with that trade as far as TSC is concerned.
Oh, yeah.
Like, C9 has... What I expect from THC, if they don't push with this Immortal, they have to backdoor bottom keep. I think they will still push with this because they have Sylph. But without Uther, they're a little bit weaker to the all-in. But, like, just watch. What Illidan has to do once they step up. I mean, he's engaging here.
Calf isn't here yet either. So how... Taking a lot of damage. They're pulling him back. Justing's also going to take a ton of... Going into the Ancient Spear and leaping backwards. But the Dwarf Dust in force while working against Sonya. And that is a dead Sonya. So this Immortal getting the fort regardless.
Okay, so that was a pretty big misplay by THC. That leap seemed like it was just a lack of communication. But I would have much rather seen Wrath of the Berserker here. But, like, at the same time, when you leap on top of where you're
Oh,
standing.
Dunk Train's gonna go down once again to Blink Heal, trying to save him. Dimensional Shift comes out, but Disintegrate. Blink Heal once more. Dunk Train ends up falling. All of the sustain of Arthlon has been used. Phase Shift Shield is gonna be there for iDream, but the Immortal does get cleaned up. Dunk is getting picked off so much on Tassadar.
I don't know what's happening. Like, this is just crazy to me. First of all, C9's draft seemed like a little bit, I don't know. I don't want to say tilt because that's a bad description, but it does kind of feel like a tilty draft. They're like, they tried this gray main composition that would have worked much better with Illidan, so then they're like, oh, let's just pick Illidan the next game and we'll win, but they don't take into consideration what map they're on, so it's like kind of hard to say. C9 is doing what they can to stay in this game, though. You know, they've gotten the necessary pickoffs. If they win a team fight now, they can still win the game. And Justin G, he's too far up potentially.
It's really interesting because they were hovering Thrall before they picked the Illidan, right? They knew that this was not the optimal scenario, and they weren't looking to do it. But Dream, as we've said in the past, not a big fan of playing the Thrall. They had already locked in the Muradin, so that put him in a bit of a peculiar situation.
Now, this is a risky play from TNC. I respect it. I would like it a little bit more if they had Wrath of the Berserker, but going for this keep is a pretty risky play. iDream's already deep.
Okay, they've got the phase shift forward. Buds in the back. Poly there on Justing. Dream needs to get back to safety. Does do so. Fleep doesn't do a whole lot, but the Wailing just on Muradin, forcing out Divine Shield, and the Sundering hits nothing. Cloud9, if there's the fight they're going to take, it's now, but King Caffeine has already fallen. iDream is incredibly low in the back. He will fall as well. So that is a 2-for-0 in favor of TNC, and Dunk Train barely getting the Force Wall to stay alive. This keep is going to get pressured with the power of Sylvanas. No, they're just making the safe call for the Immortal.
That's halfway phase.
Yeah.
This is a guaranteed top keep off of this Immortal play. So they realize that they could potentially get a double keep off this play, but they're taking the safer route, getting the halfway phase on the Immortal. I think Sylvanas should clear top lane and ignore the Immortal, but we'll see what she actually ends up doing.
Well, the Mercenary just ended up dying, so it's much less of a threat at this point. And yes, halfway phase has been reached. Decisive team fight there from C9. It was a last-ditch effort, it seemed, for them going for that play. But the Divine Shield was just too much. They couldn't get that one kill they worked so hard for.
And just keep in mind, it's 13-13. C9 can still win a fight and make this happen, but it's a tough situation for them. Dunk Train's getting pressured.
No, he's going to take a lot of damage. King Caffeine going for a big flank, realizing he has to back away. Brightwing getting that soak. It is even experience in this game, but Cloud9 just does not have the same potential to poke at these Immortals the way that TNC has been doing all game long.
Prismat cannot get picked off while trying to poke the Punisher. That's critical. If Prismat is able to get his damage off like a decent amount, like he is right now, he's getting a good amount of damage out while Sylvanas is pressuring the wave. But if they're able to kill him, then suddenly C9's in an advantageous position. We now see Illidan moving on to the Immortal.
Okay, so this is something that TNC is very well aware of. That Immortal health bar is finally starting to drop. Cloud9 actually has already done more to this Immortal than the last one, but Arthlon taking a lot of damage. The big Disintegrate goes in. Leap goes forward as well, but Arthlon gets saved from the shields. We do see Metamorphosis being cast by iDream, but the focus with the Wailing Arrow will blow up Illidan like nothing, and the straight from Cameron Pro is good, but the Sundering disengages. 4 versus 5 in favor of TNC, and this Immortal is going to go down very quickly. Buds with an offensive Haunting Wave, not even going to end up falling.
That's an 80% HP Immortal. TNC lost no one. This is guaranteed one keep, potentially game over. And I think if they don't end here, they're going to get 2 keeps guaranteed. TNC is in an incredible position here.
Man, the Prismaticism is a monster too. Yeah, Matra with the D-Shields, phenomenal. But Prismaticism has no fear. The Sky is just putting out ridiculous damage all game long. His numbers, I'm sure, 46k already. They're burning through Buds, but it's not enough. This Immortal is in the front, doing so much damage already.
He's honestly just such an aggressive player. And if you're not used to that level of aggression from a Li Ming, you're just going to get picked apart. And that's what's happening here. I think it's maybe not a lack of respect from C9 towards Prismat, but they definitely did not expect this level of aggression.
Okay, King Caffeine getting that trait heal on the left side. The keep will go down. The first keep to fall of the game. Cloud9 hasn't even taken a tower at this point.
They have to clear the Immortal. They can't take this fight.
Mothra's low. Good poke there from Arthlon. I think they can keep their core from taking any damage. Yes, they do have enough damage output on this Immortal, but guess what? Full map control with a keep down, level 16 advantage on the side of TNC. They are in complete control of this game.
All TNC needs to do now, make sure they're healthy, and just play heroes of the defense. Make sure you're not in a position where you can get picked. Make sure C9 doesn't get too much off of a siege. Play your advantage. They never will have vision of top lane again. You can manipulate that and use it to your advantage. With top keep being down, there's always that catapult pressure, and Sylvanas is good at anti-siege. The only way C9 can come back into this game is through a desperation team fight that they have to win handedly.
Cloud, what do you think about Fireflies over Mirror Ball for Li Ming's level 16?
I hate it. Let me tell you, I hate it more than anything else. Like, I think Prismat's a phenomenal Li Ming player, but there's something about his build choices that just rub me the wrong way. Like, I think he's a really good player, but his builds are just a little bit odd for me. And they can work. They can definitely work. Fireflies has potential, but I would have much rather liked to see Mirror Ball.
Okay.
Just because of the Immortal Burst.
Bottom keep being pressured with the Mercamp. Illidan making his way down, almost there, but level 16 still not here for C9, so this is very much a strong situation for TNC. They know he's here. Double ping, just saying, you know what, look, let's burn Illidan. If he comes down, just be ready for the flank. That's why you see Hao and Matra both positioned on this top part of the map, realizing they have the stuns, the lockdown to blow through iDream. But the Cloud9 will manage to defend this keep, as we do see TNC backing up, getting ready for the Immortal.
I definitely am overreacting a little bit. Fireflies is still really good, but when it comes to things like if someone doesn't take Vorpal Blade or if someone takes Fireflies, it just rubs me the wrong way, and I'm like, wait, you could be doing something slightly more optimal. But
okay.
Now that Punisher spawned, it's even footing. Both teams are 16.
This is defensive position. I think C9 needs that right now because it's much harder for TNC to poke. They have a better comp at poking, and they have Critterized there on Brightwing, so they can try to blow someone up. King Caffeine immediately having the Dwarf toss away as so much damage came flying in.
That's half HP gone immediately. The cool thing about Fireflies, the more I think about it, it has a little bit of synergy here and there. You can guaranteed get a Q off an Uther stun, for example. But the amount of poke you can get from Mirror Ball is insane. But you see K1 Pro being pressured here. Justin G having good restraint on the leap. He's just waiting patiently.
All right, Bud's hunting waves back to safety. A huge strafe in the back. Prismatism trying to trade with K1 Pro, and he'll barely not get him. Great shield coming up, but then we have the Metamorphosis going in. Prismat is running away, but can still lob those orbs from afar. They're trying to get a single kill, but C9 hasn't found one yet. The Sundering wasn't the money Sundering, but King Caffeine goes down, and with Justin getting the face shield coming in towards him, Brightwing might be able to get that clutch poly for the kill. Dream looking in at Hao. Gonna dive in the heal from Uther at the last moment. Hao does fall. C9 trading two. Wow. No, two for two.
2 for 2. Oh my god.
Dude, this is really intense. This is a very, very tense moment for C9. The fact that they managed to trade evenly means they can start to get themselves set up for a decent Immortal. For the first time in this game, they're ahead in Immortal phase.
Dunk Train's back got canceled. That's a huge
Yeah, Dream
leap.
actually showed Dunk Train, essentially, with that leap, and that's really going to slow them down with their defense.
Look at the top lane, by the way.
Oh, Dream!
iDream. He's just dead.
Oh, my goodness. And just like that, what looked like a good situation for C9, gone.
The 3 catapults in the top lane are now pressuring. If they can trigger halfway phase now, C9 has to defend their base.
Oh,
they can't contest the back half. But K1 Pro making...
Huge strafe. Stormbolt goes in, does pierce through, and a double kill there for C9. Prismatism is incredibly low, but it doesn't even matter. Oh, Arthalon gets chunked by that orb, but C9 can finally start to try to set this reset phase.
Wow, K1 with the incredible play there. Just the aggressive strafe.
K1 carry, boys.
Yeah, that was insane.
And
great damage
the
by
confirm
him.
there from Calf, too. All right. Halftime show begins. 30 seconds on 2 members of THC. This is C9's time to try to bring it back. They know they have to push this wave out. The tri-catapults are problematic. Arth does have the global presence, so he can stay here by himself. The rest of C9 needs to get ready to do as much damage as possible because that ticker, the time is ticking. 12 seconds left before those 2 members are back up.
THC is being too aggressive.
Matra?
If they get picked here, this is really bad.
Matra's down. D-shield to use. No chance of survival. Critterized there, and Hao forces out a Sundering, trying to get away with that Wind Fury, but iDream not going to be able to get the kill.
Live?
Oh, the great Stormbolt there on Matra at the last moment to make sure they get the single kill, but Dunk Train almost fell to Prismaticism.
Wow. iDream is still going deep. He's too deep. We have a leap coming in. There's a meta. Okay, Metamorphosis is down. C9 is looking to finish this fort, so the Immortal pressure is the keep. This game is really close now, guys.
Very, very tense right now. King Caffeine very far forward at this moment, looking to go defend the Immortal. They want
THC
as
should
much
just get
shields
off
as
the map.
possible. Yeah, you
Accept the fact that you lost to this Immortal and get off the map. Don't stagger deaths. It's not worth it.
Great zoning by King Caffeine.
Oh,
Dunk
Justin
Train with
G
a force
missed.
wall on Prismat.
Justin G missed a critical spear there.
Uh-oh, how is going to
he's
fall
dead.
to Dream and Calf. That is a huge kill for Cloud9, and they will have that Mortal summoning into the to the bottom lane where that fort is very low, forcing out that leap on Justin. Strafe over the wall, not going to be enough for the kill. Dream playing with fire right now.
That's kind of been the theme of this game. He's been really aggressive on Illidan, and I've criticized the Illidan pick on this map because it doesn't really work well with the objective unless you win the objective. Now they've won the objective. They're winning the race to level 20. Let's see if they can make this work, potentially secure a keep, look to finish out the game. TNC, on the other hand, has pretty good anti-siege. They have Sylvanas and Li Ming here. So this would be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, phenomenal poke. We have Arthlon just keeping that top lane at bay now, face shifting on and giving that peekaboo, giving them eyes on this push. If they can get the keep, this game is looking pretty darn even. The level 20 is around the corner for C9. And yes, this keep will end up falling to this Immortal.
They might go core. They honestly might go core.
They're feeling that desperation. Metamorphosis going in towards Prismat, but the stun on Dream, and Dream is getting blown up very quickly. Manages to get out the last one with King Caffeine in the front, also very low. The Immortal has made it to the core. The face shield gonna enable to iDream to go back in, but no, they're not feeling the sundering and the wailing on 4 members of Cloud9. Dream is dead. The leap comes in, and Cloud9 gets completely dismembered.
I can't believe what's happening right now. iDream should go down here. Sylvanas is still pursuing.
Oh, Dream is dead. Oh, diving forward. Dunk does not have the shield in time. Ancient Spear onto Dunk Train. Oh my goodness, they're also very low, but the Force Wall with the Disintegrate. He is dead. We have the Wailing, the Hunting Wave going forward.
GG.
There's the Shadow Dagger. Dream is going to end up falling. No, he will escape, but it doesn't even matter.
Oh my god, the counter throws. This game has been insane. That's 3 dead for 35 seconds, and Tassadar is down for 51. I think they have what it takes to win here. Matre with the clutch heal on the catapult. That might make the difference, guys. You never know. But iDream's looking to pressure
Just
Prismat.
like
Prismat
that.
goes Archon. D-shield Archon on the core. That's so much damage. And THC takes down C9 2-0 and is going to Burbank.
THC qualifies Cloud9, the BlizzCon 2015 World Champions.
Oh my god.
They qualified for Worlds in the first qualifier last season. Second place at DreamHack Austin last weekend. They're going to the final qualifier.
I've lost my mind, dude. I can't believe what's happening. And also proof that I've lost my mind. I kept calling them THC. They're TNC. My bad, guys. But, like, they played unbelievable. If they want, they can go have a celebratory, dose of THC in...
Kappa.
Oh, my God. But that was insane. Their draft was phenomenal. I feel like C9 was pressured into a tilted-esque draft. It's hard to say, but... unbelievable series by TNC.
It's hard to believe. I mean, C9 almost made a comeback, but there was a lot of mistakes in that game, and the draft in particular. I mean, every single time, every Immortal in favor of THC, TNC, winning Immortal after
TNC,
Immortal after Immortal. And C9, with a brilliant comeback at the end, the simple slip-up of that Sundering, and then to seclude Vala on a K1 Pro, who they were a little bit too far forward. That strafe was not necessary. Made her an easy target. And then the Wailing Arrow on 4 members, followed up by a 3-man leap.
That leap was insane, I'll be honest. But that Sundering clipping K1 to separate him from the team was clutch.
Yeah.
But,
game winner.
Like, aside from THC playing really, really well, it seemed like C9 was struggling in general with little things that I've never noticed them struggle with, like Tassadar's positioning in both Game 1 and Game 2. 2 different Tassadar players, but both of them still getting picked off way too often.
And the Tassadar style in Game 1 was a bit weird.
Yeah, for sure.
The lack of dimensional shift twice by different players, like, uncharacteristic for sure. I mean, that one Tassadar death essentially enabled that keep wall to go down. Right? The fort fell, and then the keep wall went down. And that was when the experience snowballed in favor of TNC.
I'm really impressed with TNC. They were looking scary at DreamHack Austin. They just didn't have the greatest opportunity to show their skill set. They played on the backstage. They didn't even have the opportunity to play on the main stage. That's how shitty the situation was for them. So like a lot of the people who watched DreamHack Austin didn't even have the opportunity to recognize and see how good they're getting because they were on the B stream, and that's a little bit unfortunate. But I don't think they'll be on the B stream when they come to Burbank. Not after this.
Not after this. They have just proven themselves and earned their spot. So a huge congratulations to Team Name Change on qualifying for the second regional happening in Burbank on June 4th and 5th. A big day for them for sure, earning that win. On that note, guys, that's pretty much going to do it for us here. I do owe a shout out to McLaggett for the donation. McLaggett, thank you so much for the donation. Let me find your message. Glau, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Glaurung_TV. And as always, like, I wouldn't be anything without my team. So we qualified in the first qualifier. If you guys can watch us at Burbank and cheer us on, we're going under the name Brainpower. And we're currently talking with various sponsors. We might compete at the event with that name. We might not. But either way, stay tuned. You can follow me for updates. I occasionally stream. But yeah, that's it for me. And thank you for the opportunity to cast with you, Jake.
Oh, dude, thanks for coming on. It was a lot of fun. I think we all learned a lot from you today, picking the brain of some of the best here. It's always very fun to cast with people with knowledge of your caliber. So yeah, thanks, man. You can follow me, Solojig GG, on pretty much everything. I tweet pictures of baby bunnies once in a while. You know, whatever. I mean, whatever you want to see. McLaggett, once again, thank you for the 10 Dora as you typed it, Dora. Not sure what that means. I'm going to go indulge on massive quantities of pulled pork. And do you know if the other qualifier match is happening right now? If it's still going?
I don't know 100%.
I'm going to check.
If there are, they would be on J-House stream potentially.
Yeah, so
I think it's Tempo versus Alcoholics Anonymous, and by that I mean Astral Authority. But that's the first thing that always comes to my head, man.
Well, Tempo versus Astral Authority is happening. We're going to give them a host for their match, assuming it's still going on. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, guys.
GG's.